Welcome back to part 2. You might remember that I'm Bedford and I am indeed not Carla. Just clarifying that. Okay, watch this. You may remember at the start of part 1 that I had mentioned tattoos. Got my first turtle tattoo. Staying true to tradition, we decided to get one in Pai. I decided to get, and this is now my second tattoo by the way, I decided to get an elephant, a rabbit, and a bamboo tree, all with lots of meaning behind, which I won't necessarily entertain you with at this moment. Jimbo decided to jazz up his triangle and throw a few lines in there, right, Jimbo? Yeah. And Carla decided to get the cutest rabbit to join her turtle. And you know, I won't lie, it was a bit painful. Now, I'm quite a strong person, you know, don't often show emotion me. But yeah, this stick, and I thought I was well prepared because obviously I'd had one before with a bamboo stick, and so we went in with another bamboo stick. But yeah, it hurt a bit more this time. My butt crack is sweating. Butt crack is really sweating. But just when I thought I couldn't get enough, I went back to the tattoo parlour to get a hole in my nose. And you may be able to see, oh god. Yeah. It's just a great day, full of first times, or second times as well. But yeah. Thumbs up. Went to the Witching Well, great place by the way. Lunch was just delicious. Guess who came to join us? Someone called Sarah, who had just been on a nutty retreat, 7 days, no speaking, and did she make up for it? And it was great for Jim and Carla, who had met Sarah first time in, when was it? In Cambodia. They'd met Sarah. So they'd reunited in Thailand, in Pai. So that was very lovely. And we all had lovely lunch together. So as if scooters weren't enough, Carla, I and Jim decided to get a sidecar. This thing was groovy. Rocked up in this spaceship of a thing. I was a bit nervous at the start. This thing, to turn it, you really had to give it some welly. So Carla took the lead on the first few trips, and then I pretty much became her chauffeur, actually. So that was very nice. But yeah, sidecar was great. Sidecar was very fun. Good speed on that thing too. And we were sad when we had to give it back. Very sad to give it back. We arrived at the canyon. I'd like to call it the Grand Canyon of Pai, because it was very big and got the heart pumping for sure. There were some really narrow paths, very high. Lovely view for a sunset. We had to climb through all sorts of holes, but it was a lot of fun. We were actually joined by Kirsten, Lovely girl. Got a space in my heart, she has, for many reasons. So she had a great time too. A real workout, to be honest. And Carla did a great job despite being very scared. So yes, a real balancing act, but a lovely spot for a sunset.
Bye, Kirsten.
Before we knew it, it was time to go back to Chiang Mai. Heat hit us hard, really hard, and we jumped into what looked like, I mean, they're not tuk-tuks, but they look like ambulances and they're everywhere. So we jumped in one of those, and before we knew it, we were here at the Peanut House, which is a house that is made of peanuts. It's not actually made of peanuts, but that would be funny. There's also a mushroom house just down over there, and also other leafy greens. Lovely place, and finally have my own room, believe it or not. Double bed, can't complain. No headboard, but you know, who needs a headboard these days anyway? Air conditioning, just lovely. Could do with more lights, but I'm a dark person anyway. So we hired some more scooters with the aim to get to the hot springs, which sadly we couldn't do in Pai, but we had the opportunity to do so in Chiang Mai. So popped onto the scooters, was an intense ride, but you know what, my love for scooters and motorbikes just got bigger. After a fairly lengthy drive, we arrived in the eggiest hot springs I've ever been to. Eggs everywhere, because you could boil eggs in the hot springs, they were that hot. Temperatures reaching up to what looked like about 50 degrees, probably higher because you could boil an egg. But yeah, very smelly, but lovely. Lovely to be further out of the city, breathing oxygen, wind in the hair. We dipped our feet into the hot springs, and we also had a mineral pool session. There was a pool made of mineral water, filled with mineral water, but again, hot, 40 degree hot. So we were pretty much bombarded with heat. And yet still refreshed, relatively refreshed. We hit the mineral bath. Sounded a lot nicer than sadly it was, because we pretty much were greeted with bathtubs, individual bathtubs, and a bath that we had to run. Now, I'm not a stuck-up person, I don't expect things to be done for me, but someone could run my bath for me there, certainly. Also, mosquitoes pretty much everywhere. It just wasn't the experience that I was expecting. And as soon as you turned on the hot water came out, obviously spring water, smell of eggs filled the room. Just wasn't my thing. And it wasn't Carla's thing either, actually. We both left pretty quickly. But to our surprise, Jimbo was still there. So yeah, that was a great experience, really, because it's something that I probably won't do again.
We've just been to secret cabaret show, drag show. secret show. What was it called? Anyway, it was a drag show and it was so fucking good. Just lots of like, how do you describe it? Singing, dancing, lip syncing,
slut drops, splits,
death drops,
things that should have dislocated your knee long ago.
and after the first 2 acts, there was a third act. Everyone else left, but the 3 of us. So we basically got a private
Personal fucking show.
It was unreal. It was so good.
Personal show. Pressure was on, must admit, to perform as a crowd. Yeah, it was a bit constant. But do you know what? They were fucking incredible. They were wonderful. This laddie has come at an appropriate time, I'm sure. But you know what? Yeah, drinks were a bit pricey, whatever. But you know what? Them in London, maybe, or even in fucking Bedford, would draw a crowd and a fucking half, I tell you that much.
Yeah, they deserve
and we
more
would be paying, yes, they did deserve a hell of a lot more people. But I imagine and I hope that the weekends they go fly, they go.
Mental.
Every night, starting at 9:30. Thank you. Enjoy the night.
So tomorrow we will be staying in yet another hostel, but you know, a classy one by the looks of it, because they've only got a pool on the roof, which I'm really excited for.
Dirty 30.
And one that isn't hot and doesn't smell of eggs. You know, I'm not fussy. Yeah, that will be my last hostel before I fly back to England. So I'm gonna sign off from Bedford, and you'll probably see Carla next, hopefully, or perhaps another Asian person, who knows, eh? So peace, and thank you to Jim, thank you to Carla for being bloody ace. I know I give him a lot of stick, but it's all fun, you know. All right, peace. The coronavirus didn't get me. Oh God, I feel like I shouldn't have said that. I would like a little quick shout out to my mum and my dad. Yo. And I also had an egg salad.